Today, Russia intensifies airstrikes in Syria. Western-backed forces retake an important Afghan city from the Taliban, and the list of women claiming Bill Cosby assaulted them grows.
Bruce, what are the reports coming out of Syria about Russia's military intervention?
Russian President Vladimir Putin is moving quickly following approval to use the military in Syria. Today, Russia unleashed another round of airstrikes and claims to have hit Islamic State targets. But media report IS militants don't hold the areas Russia said it attacked. It appears Russia instead bombed rebel forces fighting against Syrian President Bashar Assad. Strikes on rebel forces would confirm the United States' fear that Putin only intends to prop up the Assad regime and not wipe out the IS insurgency. Our Song Jung-in has more about the situation in Syria.
Russia's defense ministry says its air force carried out around 20 missions targeting Islamic State militants in Syria on Wednesday and destroyed 8 positions belonging to the extremists, including a command center. The airstrikes included areas in central Homs and Hama provinces. However, the United States expressed doubts Moscow targeted IS-held territories as claimed. Washington believes the strikes were instead directed against opposition rebels threatening Syria's leader Bashar al-Assad. Syria's main Western-backed opposition group says one airstrike killed 36 civilians, including 5 children, in Homs. Moscow denies civilians were killed. The warplanes started their mission shortly after the Russian parliament unanimously voted to allow Vladimir Putin to use the air force to target militants. The U.S. and Russia are planning to hold military talks to ensure they do not come into accidental conflict during their respective air campaigns in Syria. Holding a press conference with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at UN headquarters in New York, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry said talks could take place as early as Thursday.
So, as Sergei said to you, we agreed on the imperative of as soon as possible, perhaps even as soon as tomorrow, but as soon as possible, having a military-to-military deconfliction discussion.
The latest development has intensified debates on strategies to defeat violent extremists in the region. U.S. President Barack Obama and his Russian counterpart clashed over how to resolve the Syrian crisis at the UN General Assembly earlier in the week. 손정인, Arirang News.